I just sawed through one of the brake lines. And this battery is completely dead. I'm wearing rubber gloves just in case.
Got fire!
God, we're moving! Huh? Right, almost 6 days later, let's check out how this has gone. This epoxy looks pretty solid. I won't know how strong it is until I lift it up by this bracket. Well, the rail feels pretty solid. The battery tests okay, so I think we're back in business, which is a huge relief. The next task I have on my hands is to create blocks. These blocks are going to be bolted onto the boxes, so then they're going to mount onto the plates that are going to be welded onto the vehicle underneath the frame. So I've got 20 of these plates. I think this is 1/8 of an inch stainless steel plates. So I'm going to be drilling holes through the center of these blocks. Then I'm going to be tapping those holes with this, which is going to allow me to use this M8 bolt here. I'm then going to drill 4 holes in the corner that will be bolted onto the inside of the box. Here is an example. I'm just going to show you where this is actually going to go. So this plate is going to be welded at the top there and then bolt on to this block, and the block is going to be mounted onto the box like that. These blocks, and I'm now bolting them onto the side here, so I'm just measuring out, and then we'll need to bolt them from underneath. Now I have these blocks on, I'm going to just mount these plates ready, and then I can line up and find out exactly where we need to weld them. I've lined up the box and marked where the plates need to be welded. I've got this angle grinder just to expose the bare metal ready to weld onto. I have cleaned all of the areas where we're going to weld. I've got them all down to bare metal. These are the most critical welds of the whole build because they're holding the heaviest battery box on. So I'm going to get Jehu, who has had a lot more experience in welding, to do those weld joints, just because the only welding I've ever done was like the other day, welding something that's not even that critical, just like holding a tiny pipe from rattling. If these fail, we're in serious trouble. Oh, we are getting there, guys. We are getting there. Jehu, are you down to do some welding?
Oh yeah, sure.
I've hoisted the box into position and slightly miscalculated the where these needed to go, so they're off. It shouldn't matter too much. I can go here. It'll just mean that it's going to be off center, but this whole thing's been a kind of learning curve. don't know how I got those measurements so wrong. I think basically when I lined up the box, it was slightly wonky because I hadn't put the top sheets on yet to keep it from kind of twisting. But yeah, it should be okay. This side's much better. I have mounted the blocks onto the other quadruple battery box. These are the two main ones that are going to be underneath. I'm not too worried about the single battery boxes, they're going to be so much easier. It's looking good. I've got all those brackets that I cut from the length of angled steel that I bought. They're going to be welded on, one here, and then one I think kind of here. I have just tied the box up there again, and I've marked out where I want to weld these brackets to. Okay, I've bolted all these on, and this is the final little bracket we're trying to make. So back to some welding.
Oh. Caught fire.
I am on the final mount for these two big boxes, the main boxes. I'm having a little bit of difficulty because it's slightly misaligned and I don't have to re-drill another hole. So I'm gonna just kind of drill diagonally, kind of making that hole a bit more oval so I can get the bolt in. The other problem I've spotted, I didn't use washers, and it's been grinding down the thin aluminium sheet, like the side of the box. As you can see here, it's like digging away at it, and that'll eventually pop through, and that'll create like a really weak spot where it's supposed to be holding all the weight. So I'm gonna get some little washers. These are actually too big, but basically something like this. Anyway, I'm almost there, This is my last job of today, and then I'm gonna head back. Well, that's it guys. I have mounted the boxes. This has been the biggest task yet. I'm pretty confident this is gonna hold all of the batteries. And it's quite easy to like unbolt them. I can take them down again, like fit all the batteries and then just quickly bolt them back. Cool, this is a good milestone. Right, I've got an interesting dilemma. The next phase is basically going to require a lot of welding. I've done a tiny bit of welding the other day. It's a little bit scary and I don't really know what I'm doing. So Jehu helped with the major brackets that are going to be holding the main battery boxes, just because I don't really trust like 5 minutes of welding experience. But he can't help with the welding tonight and tomorrow, and I was just going to call it a day. I was just going to head home because I was intimidated to do the welding myself. I was like, oh, no, I'll let him do it when he's got free time. We are kind of against the clock now. I'm gonna try and do this welding myself. I'm gonna watch a few YouTube videos just to get some pointers. Jehu's given me some pointers. Other than that, I think it's just diving in the deep end, which I have done with most of this. Whilst I've been here, I've allowed myself the occasional Red Bull just to give me that buzz. And I need one right now just to give me that energy, even though I'm gonna crash from sugar and caffeine overload. I've also realized I should probably have some kind of protective clothing on. I don't have any because it's so hot right now. And I've just been working topless because I can just jump in the bath when I get home. But the flying sparks of molten metal may burn me, so I'm gonna try and be careful. It's not going great so far. I've burnt a hole connecting two bits of metal. I've just burnt a hole straight through it. Yeah, so this was supposed to be a nice clean bead, and I guess I held it over there for too long and burnt a hole straight through it. I'm gonna kind of do these spot welds along these joints and see how I get on with that. I'm kind of getting there, so I grinded that down a little bit, filled that hole in I made, and then I've got a couple of these messy joints which I'm going to try and tidy up a bit. don't know if I'm improving. I'm trying. I feel like 20% of what I'm doing is all right, and then the other 80% is pretty messy. But the main question for me is it strong? If it holds and it's like a strong enough bond, I don't care if it looks a bit messy because I can kind of grind it down. But we'll see. I'll get Jehu to assess everything after I've done it. It's looking good. Some of the molten metal hit my shoulder and burnt me quite badly, so I'm just putting an ice pack on it. You may be thinking I'm stupid for welding with the top off, and you probably are right. My top's off firstly because it's like 42 degrees Celsius here today, and it's still like 39 or 40, and it's nighttime. So it's swelteringly hot. Secondly, I completely forgot to bring a long sleeve top. So I've got like a tank top, a vest top, but that would have made no difference. So next time I weld and learn from my mistake, wear proper overalls. And even these gloves aren't proper, like I've been burning the back of my hands because it's just thin material. Jehu has wired in all of the connectors, the battery management system. I've been welding and screwing and grinding and getting this all in. So this is the second to last battery box. It's been a pretty successful day. Welding these brackets in, lining it all up, attaching these. It's been quite complicated because there's a lot less space. And then I've basically got to do the exact same again on the other side. Hopefully it'll be a bit quicker, learning from some of the little mistakes I made. After working all night, welding and everything, I got to bed at 7:30 in the morning. I started again at lunchtime, so I haven't slept much, but we've just hit a major milestone in the project, guys. I have successfully mounted all of the battery boxes. So check this out. Oh my gosh. So 2 in there, 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 and then these are singles. They are all bolted on securely. They are looking great. The next step is putting the batteries in and measuring out where the connectors need to be. I've got some diagrams that I've drawn out in Photoshop. So those are the battery boxes. That's the main wiring for the batteries going in and out of the terminals. Then that is the cooling system. That's how I'm gonna put all the cooling pipes in. Those pink ones are where the battery management system ports are going to be. So the only box I haven't mounted is the one that's going to be going in the back here where the fuel tank used to be. So that's going to be inside the vehicle. I'm not going to have to worry so much about it being held from underneath. I think we can just mount that way easier. So that's the first box. I'm going to attempt to fit these cable connectors. They're like the ports basically that the cables go in, to then clamp onto these terminals, and then these will go on there on the positive and negative. Get it out. Can you see this? This is where the terminal is going to go, and then the cable is going to come out from in there. It's perfect. And then this thing tightens around the cable. Next job is cutting a square hole. It's going to be here, bang in the middle, either side of the battery terminals. What I'm thinking with this is I'm going to drill a round hole, because you can't drill square holes. I'm going to drill a round hole, and then I've got a jigsaw, and I'm just going to cut around like this. I think that's me done for the night. I have built all the boxes. These are the little holes for the BMS connectors that Jehu's made up upstairs. This is ready for the main lug that'll connect the big cable to the motor. And then these ports here are going to be for the cooling system. I have connected all of these 6 batteries together. This is the input. The top and bottoms are in parallel, and then these are in series. So there's 3 parallel modules, actually 6 paralleled into 3 and then linked in series here. So positive and negative. I have these cables that Jehu's made up, and I'm going to install them now. So I've cut the holes ready in the boxes, so you can see here, these square holes. And then these little connectors here, these are going to clip onto, see those connectors in there? I'm going to clip onto those connectors. That's all going to feed back to the battery management system, which is going to keep an eye on the batteries and tell us if there's problems. Okay, the boxes are in, most of the cabling's done, and I've just started putting in the coolant pipes as well.